The old gods, being so cruel and so malevolent that they desire nothing more than just creating chaos for chaos's sake. Thankfully though, before things got too much out of hand on our planet, the old gods were defeated and placed into prisons within Azeroth that were able to neutralize most of their evil power. But did you know that there was a point in time that they could have gotten free? And no, I'm not talking about Anchorage or Ulduar, I am talking about the War of the Ancients. The whole reason why Broxigar, Ronin, and Crassus were sent back in time to the events of the War of the Ancients was because of a temporal anomaly. When all of them went to investigate, this anomaly sent them back 10,000 years ago to the age of where the Night Elves reigned supreme. This anomaly was created by the old gods in order for them to change the events of the past so that they could get free from their prison. Their goal was to have a powerful enough portal to be constructed to open up a way for Sargeras to enter into Azeroth and ultimately free the old gods. This temporal anomaly, however, completely rewrote the timeline for events that took place in that specific period, meaning that the events of the first War of the Ancients, the one that happened without Broxigar, Ronin, and Crassus, absolutely ceased to exist, and the second War of the Ancients, the one that they were actually sent back in time to, completely took the place of the original War of the Ancients. So here's an example to simplify everything down. In the original War of the Ancients, Hakar the Houndmaster actually survived the War of the Ancients and he was killed during the third war. But in the second War of the Ancients, the one with Broxigar and Ronin and Crassus, he actually is killed during the war by Malfurion. So this means that everything was absolutely subject to change. Initially, Ronin and Crassus didn't want to do anything during the time period for fear that they could distort the time waves and pretty much just ruin everything and throw everything out of balance. And at one point, Ronin even considers killing Broxigar to prevent this distortion from happening, but thankfully they soon realized that things are beyond their control. They're already out of control and they had to become involved in order for victory in the War of the Ancients to be secured. So now you know that the anomaly was created by the old gods, that because of this anomaly, without the intervention of Broxigar, Ronin, and Crassus, Sargeras would have stepped into the world and freed the old gods. But what's pretty damn scary is that the old gods not only wanted to be free of their prisons, but originally they wanted to do much more. Their full plan, once all of them were free, was to kill Sargeras and to take control of the Burning Legion. Now, before the release of the book Chronicle, there were plenty of debates brought up between who was more powerful, the old gods or the titans. And before the new lore that we received in Chronicle, it was 100% the old gods as the more powerful force. It was stated that it took numerous titans just to hold their own and defeat a single old god. And so that's why when Sargeras would enter Azeroth, the old gods, they weren't worried at all. In their minds, it took numerous of titans and titanic soldiers just to take on a single old god. So, you know, numerous old gods can literally obliterate a single titan, even Sargeras. And also, some of you guys may have heard the quote, if the old gods were free, Sargeras himself would plead for the peace of death before them. This is a true quote, and it was said by Crassus when he was thinking about what would happen if Sargeras managed to free the old gods upon his arrival into Azeroth. Now, this is pretty damn scary because at this time, Sargeras was far from weak. He was still very powerful. He was a god. Crassus said that if every single dragon, even Deathwing and the Black Dragonflight, were united against Sargeras, they would still have absolutely no chance. He also said that if every single demon came through the portal at Zinajari and invaded Azeroth on a full-scale invasion, they would have more of a chance at winning and at survival in that scenario than if Sargeras himself managed to step into the world alone. So, you know, in the original lore, he was still incredibly powerful. He was not a pushover. It's just that the old gods, they were much more powerful than even Sargeras was. You know, even a single old god could pretty much take him on. So powerful were they that they could have killed him and taken control of the Burning Legion and literally all of its minions, Archimonde, Kil'jaeden, all of them. However, since then, the lore has been revised. In Chronicle, we see that the Titans weren't soldiers that walked on Azeroth physically fist-fighting the old gods and their minions as seen in many, you know, art and past pictures. Instead, they are now larger than the planets themselves, fully capable of easily killing an old god without any trouble whatsoever. When Sargeras was in the process of losing hope and betraying the rest of the Titanic Pantheon, he came across an old god-infested world, like how Azeroth was before the Pantheon restored order to the entire planet. However, unlike the Pantheon, who decided to carefully purge the world of the old god's Black Empire and then take the time to nurse it back to health and restore order, Sargeras completely lost hope in the idea, and literally he pulled out his sword and with one swing he cleaved the planet in two, killing the numerous old gods that corrupted the planet, the dreadlords, and anything else that existed on the world, including the Titan that was in the process of being born in the core of the planet. However, I just thought that it was cool to show you guys how powerful the old gods initially were in the old lore. So powerful that they could kill Sargeras and even take control of the entire Burning Legion. And now, the Titans are capable of killing them with 2 fingers, literally. I mean, that is how Y'Shaarj died. Amun'Thul picked him up, and with a twist of his arm, he ripped the old god from the planet. In my opinion, I love both versions of the lore. However, I think that this new version that we received in the Chronicle is much more believable. We fought back Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron before and managed to push them back into their prisons. Now, granted that a huge portion of their strength, is gone since they are imprisoned, but I still find it kind of weird that a team of 10, 25, or 40 mortals are capable of pushing a weakened old god back into its prison when one of them alone at full strength is capable of killing numerous titans and Sargeras, a being who could single-handedly destroy all life on Azeroth, even in the old lore. Anyways guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like down below if you found the video interesting, if it showed something you didn't know. It does help a lot, and until next time guys, I will see you later.